20 times more efficient than Google, and is 50 times more efficient than a normal company, and is 500 times more efficient than real energy producers.
Going back to around 2014, your friend Eric Weiss, he was talking to you about Bitcoin. You kind of ignored it. Then in 2020, he mentioned it again. And within a few weeks, you were buying tens of thousands of Bitcoin for you and your company. What the happened?
I guess I lost faith in all of my traditional investment strategies. You know, I didn't really think much about the dollar and about inflation. I thought there was no inflation, and I thought I could just sit and own big tech companies and the world would work itself out. And I guess around March, everything changed, and the monetary inflation rate tripled, and it became pretty clear that the big tech trade was a crowded trade. You know, at the point that my niece in her early 20s was telling me about Apple stock, you know, I figured that maybe it wasn't cutting edge. So I looked around and I discovered Bitcoin. And when I discovered Bitcoin, I thought, well, this is digital gold on a big tech monetary network, and it's going to grow by a factor of 100. And then I thought, well, I should buy as much as I can. And what I tell people even this day is what I was buying it, and I was thinking, I have to buy as fast as I can, as much as I can, because someone else might figure this out before, and then I won't be able to.
You were on the talking about Bill Maher recently, and you said the following: there's something cruel and tasteless about a rich white male who wants to deprive billions of poor men, women, and children in Africa, Asia, South America of basic human right of economic self-preservation so they can generate a few laughs. That's a very kind of profound thing to say. And can you just talk a little bit about this idea of property rights for billions around the world and what Bitcoin offers and how you see that?
You know, I think after you study Bitcoin, the light bulb goes off, and what I realized is anybody on earth that wanted to own anything, that wanted to own some property, has a choice. You can buy land somewhere, but someone can tax it and take it away from you. You can buy gold, but someone can take it away from you. You can buy stocks, but you can never take possession of it. You can buy debt, you can never take possession of it. You can buy jewelry, people will take it away from you. And Bitcoin is the apex property of the human race. It's the first time we figured out how to create true property that you can take possession of with full custodial rights, that's least likely to be impaired, that's most mobile. And so, yeah, it doesn't matter if you have $1 billion. If you have $1 billion, you can buy a building in Manhattan or Bitcoin, you'd rather have the Bitcoin. And it doesn't matter if you have $387. If you have $387, you can still buy the Bitcoin, take it anywhere. And if you compare that to buying silver or gold or land or a stock, your custodial and your property rights are impaired by everything else. And so I think Bitcoin is truly a seminal invention of the human race, because for the first time in human history, we can grant property rights to 8 billion people. And that's what I think is cool.
Right. Is Bitcoin designed to attract attacks? It seems that it is, and the level of attacks are rising to the state level, et cetera. And is it a bug or a feature?
I think that which does not kill Bitcoin makes it stronger.
Right. All right, let's talk about energy for a second. So total energy, global energy production is about 160,000 terawatt hours per year. And as you point out, a third of that, 50,000 terawatts per hour, is wasted. You point out that literally Bitcoin is running on a quarter of the wasted energy. It's so little of that energy goes into Bitcoin, and yet we have this FUD, this ESG thing going on. What's your current thinking on this?
I think that Bitcoin is an extraordinarily disruptive, beneficial technology to the entire energy industry. And as I studied it, it became clear to me that it's the highest value use of intermittent energy. It's the highest value use of renewable energy. It's the highest value use of wasted or stranded energy. And it's just the highest value use of energy, period. And it's a solution to developing power plants in remote locations. It's a solution to driving up efficiency of plants and driving down cost. And it's a solution to solving any kind of challenging energy problem. And I think as the world understands it, they're going to embrace it.
The recent news out of China is that a lot of mining is leaving China now. It's coming to the U.S. They're shutting down their coal production, et cetera. Is this, how do you see this developing in terms of how mining is going to be distributed around the world? Let me ask you this. It seems that if we went on the global Bitcoin standard, total global energy use would be cut by an enormous amount because you're defunding central banks, you're defunding fiat money, you're potentially defunding huge military operations just by going on a Bitcoin standard. Isn't that the greenest thing anyone could possibly do?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Look, I think Bitcoin is the most efficient use of energy that the human race has yet come up with. I looked at the annual report of Google, and Google puts about $170 or $180 billion of energy into their business to create $1.8 trillion of an asset. Bitcoin puts $4 billion of energy and capital investment to create an $800 billion asset. So Bitcoin, you put in $1, you get out $200. Google, you put in $1, you get out $10. I studied the entire S&P index and all the annual reports. You put in $1, you get out $4. If you look at a bank, JP Morgan, they spend $1 to generate $3.8 of value. And if you study an airline, they put in $1 to get out 40 cents. So Bitcoin is, it's some 20 times more efficient than Google, and it's 50 times more efficient than a normal company, and it's 500 times more efficient than real energy producers.